Okay, so this is recording. Everybody should have heard the little notification. Like I said, this is just going to go up on the internal QRX website, that like the thing that we use to communicate with one another. So it won't be public. Once we get to the questions portion, I'll also stop the recording so we can just chat amongst ourselves. We want to make sure that the community that we're building is, pretty chill and not anxious at all. All right, so let's get started. Welcome everybody to the kickoff for the Quantum Research Exchange QRX. Let me go to a quick agenda here. So we are going to talk a little bit about what the program is and what it's for. I'm going to introduce myself a little better, and I'll introduce some of the partners that I can see on the screen right now. Some folks who are not with the schools and will be contributing to the offerings that we have this year. And then I'll talk about those offerings, what you can expect to get out of this program, what are some of the things you can participate in throughout the entire year, and especially in the next month or two. And then we'll just have an opportunity to chat about any questions you have about the program, about participation, any of that. Does that sound good? Great. Okay, wonderful. If you do have questions, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you put them in the chat, and then I'll get them sort of as we go. Okay, so question the first, I guess. What is QRX? What is any of this? I'm curious, maybe by a show of raise hands in using Zoom's incredible features. How many people know what quantum information science is? I'm seeing a couple maybes, including from people at quantum information science companies, which sounds about right to me. So we have a few people, and that's fine, I think. So if you have ever heard, who here has heard of an atomic clock? Let me ask that one. Show of hands. Okay, I'm seeing more hands. Yeah, a lot more hands going up. Okay, great. So if you've heard about an atomic clock before, or if you've heard of a quantum computer or quantum computing, or you've maybe heard of things using quantum technology like dark matter detection in science, all of those things use facets of what we call quantum information. So quantum information science is a multidisciplinary field that applies principles of quantum science to questions of information. How do we talk to one another? Can we make codes that are more secure? Can we break codes that are less secure? Can we create computer programs that'll run certain types of problems a lot faster than we can on a regular computer? Can we take advantage of quantum properties like, for example, entanglement, the fact that I can get two atoms and make them correspond to one another, even if I pull them apart really far? Can we take advantage of that to improve our ability to communicate or do computing? Superposition. If I have an atom and I have two states of that atom, maybe the atom is pointing up or it's pointing down, but actually maybe I can prepare it in such a way that it's got a combination of both up and down in it. That's an interesting quantum phenomenon. And we're asking the question of whether or not we can apply that to practical questions that impact technology that we use every day. Now, if anybody is hearing what I just said and is like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong call, let me just go ahead and assure you right now, you don't have to be a quantum specialist. A lot of people that are engaged in quantum information science are specialists. They have PhDs, and they have spent years of their life learning all of the ins and outs of the science. But here is a fun fact. Most jobs in the quantum industry, so working at a company that makes quantum computers, working at a company that builds some of the enabling hardware that quantum computers run on, only about half of those jobs and half of the jobs that are going to come to be in the next few years require any kind of quantum expertise at all. This pyramid is something that we really like to throw around in the quantum workforce space because it illustrates what we're talking about. We want a lot of workers in this field overall. And that means we need a lot of workers who are regular STEM professionals, people who can design circuits, people who can work with cryogenics, people who know how to do a machine lathe, people who know how to program, people who know how like cybersecurity type stuff works. Like there are so many opportunities for non-specialists to participate in the quantum field. And a large part of that is because the field is new. It's being built up right now. And that means there's a lot of opportunities for students like you just to kind of get in at the ground floor. This segment here is a lot of what this program is about. People who are STEM folks, or not even necessarily STEM folks. If there are people in here who are like, I love business, I want to work in HR, I love advertising. These companies are going to need those jobs too. And just to make sure everybody feels 100% comfortable here, I have a PhD. My PhD is in nuclear physics, and I am not at the top of this pyramid. I'm in the middle of it, or probably lower, to be perfectly honest. I have an advanced degree in my area, but I don't have a background in the atomic physics that are needed to be a quantum specialist. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about in this program is stuff that's, would be useful for me at the same level that it would be useful to you. So the program, Quantum Research Exchange, is really about connecting students like you to quantum mentorship, quantum professional development, and internship opportunities in the quantum sphere. The one thing we can't really guarantee with this program is that you will land an internship, but we're going to do everything we absolutely can to make sure that if you want one, you can get it. You can go out and apply for it. You're equipped to speak to quantum companies with confidence, knowing that you have something of value to them. And I want to emphasize, you don't need prior quantum expertise in this. We're going to have a short course in the program that will take you to a place of what I like to call quantum conversant, where you can talk about quantum with somebody who might be an expert or might not be an expert, but talk in a way that allows you to communicate and contribute to a lot of what companies are doing here. So the sort of pathway of the program is cyclical. We're here at the start of a new cohort. We're right here at this little start block. And as we move into different parts of the academic year, so the cohort that you're in, it'll meet all academic year. And as we move through the year, we're going to be doing different things. Professional development, intro to quantum activity. We're going to have opportunities to meet in person with industry folks, build your cohort like community so that when you go into the workforce, you have a group of people that you can pull on for connections and support. Applications. So some of you, if you've been exploring around the Mobilize platform, you might already know that we have posted some internship opportunities from Quantinuum. That's a local quantum company in Colorado. And if you apply for those internships and get them, normally they are in the summer, and it's an opportunity to get your feet wet in the industry. As the quantum internship season ends, students, can leave the program, but we often encourage our students to come back multiple years because you'll benefit from the program more and more, both in terms of the community that you're building and in terms of what you can, get out of it. Returning students get to work a little more closely with me as the program director for things like leadership development, like how might I become a project manager rather than just a worker, those sorts of things. So we want to make sure that the program is giving as much as possible to you throughout the entire year. So just as a function of talking about some of these opportunities and who people are and how you can get involved, let me just introduce myself a little bit more. So my name is Mike. I am the Director of Education and Workforce for QSense, and I work up at the University of Colorado, Boulder. So I'm in Boulder. QSense is a Quantum Leap Challenge Institute, and it stands for Quantum Systems through Entangled Science and Engineering. That's not going to be on the test, but just so that you know, it is an NSF-funded center, and a lot of what I do is using NSF money to build programs like this to support students like you. That's kind of my jam. That's what I like to do. That's how I'm spending our money. Seems to be working out so far, I guess. If you like this, please tell the NSF. We have a ton of industry partners. all of the people on this slide are people who have worked with the program either in the past or they're working with us this year. There are probably people on this slide that I have forgotten or who I hadn't connected with fast enough to get them here. But there are a ton of quantum companies in the Colorado area, and we're working with an increasing number of schools in Colorado too. I want to point out two things in particular. So some of these companies you'll recognize, right? IBM, NVIDIA. Some of them you might not, like Maybell or Mesa Quantum. These are all companies that have quantum adjacent things for you to do, and we'll interact with them to different degrees throughout the year. But I want to point out two things. One, I have highlighted here the Chicago Quantum Exchange. Obviously, we don't live in Chicago, but we are partnered with them through a large-scale event that's going to be sort of our culminating event at the end of the academic year, something to really look forward to. CQE has a quantum recruiting forum, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But the short version, the teaser, is that it's a really, really powerful opportunity to go in person to meet face-to-face with a ton of other students, potential employees, all kinds of stuff in Chicago. And we'll support students to go there. It shouldn't cost you anything if you want to go. I'll also point out that we've got a bunch of schools that we're working with. CU Denver, Front Range Community College of Denver, Community College of Aurora, and this year we're really, really pleased. We're working with Fort Lewis College as well, down in Durango. I can see Nate is on the call. And I also see, I think I saw that Riza is on the call too. We have some friends at Worcester Polytechnic Institute over in the Boston area who are going to be joining us this year. So you're really building up a nationwide community of quantum interested future workers. It's something that I wish, I don't want to brag too hard about the program, but this is actually something I wish I had as a student, an opportunity to build these connections going into my professional life. So I'm hopeful that it'll be useful to you. Let me take a pause there, and I want to throw it over to a number of people. So I can see the DTG folks, and I can see Catherine. If it's all right with you three, I'm going to hold off on introducing you until a bit later in the talk. And for now, I would like to give any of our industry partners an opportunity to introduce themselves. So I can see David. I think I saw somebody else, but I can't quite tell. So if you're from quantum industry and you're just stopping in on the call, feel free to unmute yourself. You should have the ability and just introduce yourself. Give a 1 or 2 minute spiel about what your company is about and how we might be able to connect with you. That would be great.
Well, I guess I'll go. You mentioned my name, Mike, so I'll go ahead and go first. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is David Mittling. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kairos. We're a Lafayette-based quantum optics startup. And actually, I got my colleague Mike Mabry's on the call here too. So we're kind of looking forward to working with everybody here on this cohort. Yeah. So what we do is we have kind of an interesting technology that we've developed using kind of off-the-shelf entangled photon systems. For those of you that are again new to the quantum world, this is just it is relatively off-the-shelf hardware. It's room temperature and simple. It's basic lasers, fancy lasers for all intents and purposes. The novel thing that we've done is we figured out a way to use it for very secure and very accurate time transfer. So it's not clocks, it's not timing, it's time distribution. And we kind of look at this as an enabler for the next generation of GPS type systems that can provide a global timing service. So we're working a little bit at that intersection of space and quantum and timing and what they call PNT, position navigation timing. So yeah, great to be part of it and looking forward to working with you all.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Mike, did you want to add anything? Feel free.
I'd only add that, yeah, we are looking forward to working with the group here. I think we've got some neat opportunities, and yeah, looking forward to engaging with some folks and seeing if we can start a relationship with somebody.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Maybe I think I see Catherine. Catherine, do you want to maybe just say hello from the X Prize perspective?
Sure. Hello. I'm Catherine Spendier from XPRIZE Quantum Applications. We have like a $5 million competition going on right now. So one of our goals is to build the workforce in quantum ecosystem, specifically about quantum algorithm development. But in principle, we're here to learn how, what is the entry of students? How would they like to come into the field, and how can we connect with them? So we have different ways of getting people involved in the prize, and I'm happy to reach out and be here for people and see how we can get you all involved in the prize. There's different ways of doing so, and I will hopefully connect with Mike. So I just jumped on the call like 15 minutes ago. So thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Is there anyone else? I feel like I don't see any other industry folks right now. Going once, going twice, Bueller. Okay, great. So industry folks, feel free to stick around as long as you want. I know you're very busy. Feel free to jump off to whatever is best for you. And in that case, I will go back to sharing my screen. And let's talk a little bit about what is on offer this year. So we, in QRX, are really, really focused on maybe what I would call 3 pillars of, this space. We want to make sure that every student has an opportunity to gain community and industry connections within the quantum space. That's a key part of the program. We're going to do that this year by offering guest lectures. We have an industry mixer coming up in a little over a month. We have the opportunity to do campus tours. So for example, you saw on the list of all the sponsors, Atom Computing. This is a local company. They have offered to give a campus tour, which is fantastic for Boulder and Denver folks. And then we're hoping to do a quantum industry panel, like a question and answer panel where students can just submit questions and learn about the industry. We want to make sure that all the questions you have about working in quantum, or about the community in the quantum industry, or about transitioning from student to worker, all of that stuff, we want to make sure you have an opportunity to get those questions asked and answered. The next pillar, I guess, that we are sort of working from is professional development. So all of you are highly skilled individuals, right? I know that at your schools, at your universities, and your classes, you're working very hard, you're doing quite well. We want to make sure that when you have an opportunity to apply for jobs, whether that's internships in this program or down the line as a professional in a career setting, that you're doing so with as much to offer as you can, as much to show for it as you can. So to that end, we're working with a local training company, the Denver Training Group, to do online workshops in a number of professional development topics, like building a resume or writing a cover letter or how to network or how to interview, things that are useful in the job market, kind of no matter what you end up doing. We're also working with your individual schools to support what we're calling chapter events. Just if you and the people at your school want to get together and compare application materials, we will support that. We will help, like, I can pay for snacks, I can pay for support from DTG. We want to make sure that you are empowered as students at a school to, further your own development. As part of participation in this program, you are also going to have access to CU Boulder's quite appreciable career services department and some of their offerings. And that's things like the platform Quincia, which is like an AI resume and cover letter checker. So you can use this platform to see, like, oh, is this resume actually going to pass the automatic resume destroyer thing that a lot of companies use today? It will help you, like, do an interview and watch you answer interview questions and say things like, oh, I noticed when you were doing that, you like blinked a lot or something. It's something to be aware of, stuff like that. You'll have opportunity to access almost all of the material that we offer to CU Boulder students for free. So we'll have an overview maybe later in October about how to use that, how to get connected to that. And then our sort of big professional development finale is in February when we have Quantum Professionals Day. This is on the CU Boulder campus. It's in person. Folks, will be supported to come in from all over. We'll cover your travel. You'll have an opportunity to meet with other folks in the program. You'll meet with Carrie and Shannon, and you'll be able to hang out at CU Boulder, tour some labs, including like Junyi's Atomic Clock Lab. Speaking of atomic clocks, the place where literally like days ago, the most precise atomic clock measurement like just happened. So it's an opportunity to really, really put all you've learned into practice. And then finally, we don't want to skimp on quantum foundations. We want to make sure that everybody in the program can talk about the field that they want to find a job in. So to that end, we're going to be starting a Quantum 101 short course, I guess you could say, just a series of 3 or 4 lectures over the next month or so that'll get you up to speed on what quantum is, what are the fields of quantum, how do people try and make quantum computing happening, what are the actual practical applications of this field, those sorts of things, without requiring you to like learn Brockett notation, which I had to learn as a physics major, or understanding how to do Shor's algorithm on a computer. You'll just learn what the algorithm does, stuff like that lets you talk in this space. We also have a large-scale event in the spring semester, the Quantum Hackathon. This is great for students who are coding-minded, who are already engaged in programming, and want to learn how to apply those skills in a quantum setting. Last academic year, we did this. We worked with NVIDIA. We worked with Inflection. And it was really great, honestly. The students learned a lot about how quantum computers and quantum programming worked, and they developed their skills on that front while, having a good time with friends, I guess. It's an event that goes over a period of time. A lot of times hackathons are like these 24-hour intensive things. This is a lot more chill, and it's designed to fit into your schedule, because I know that everybody is like a full-time student and human, right? Like, and has jobs and etc. We'll have throughout the year like quantum bites, just little bits of quantum science, trivia and fun articles and videos. And then finally, we're advertising for the Quantum Economic Development Consortium, QEDC. They have a monthly office hours where you can just go and talk to people in the quantum industry about anything, about your questions about quantum, about the field. We're going to highlight those as they come up every year. All of what's on the screen right now is leading up to this big Chicago Quantum Exchange event. So that is in April, I think. I probably should know. I think I'm helping to organize it this year, so hopefully I'm not wrong. But it is in April, and it is honestly incredible. So we sent 6 students there last year. Those students had a great time. They made plenty of connections, and we'll support as many students as we can. As much as I can convince my boss to give me money for, we'll send that many students. I promise we'll send at least 10. Like I said, it's a great opportunity to connect with CEOs, quantum interested workers, people like me who work at universities. Oh yeah, great Shanna. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. They're great people. The people in this program are incredible people. That includes all of you. And it's an opportunity to put all the professional skills that you've developed over the year to use. So look forward to that. Look forward to the other stuff. Immediately, this is what's coming up. So over the next month or two, these are the events that I want you to put on your radar. And we're going to put them on our events calendar in the next 2 or 3 days. So you don't have to worry about writing these down, immediately. But I just want to point them out. We are starting next week already with our resume building workshop. So if you want to build a better resume, we're going to talk about how to do that in a hot second. At the end of October, we'll have another professional development workshop, and we'll have the Career Services Resources tutorial and overview. At the end of October, we'll also start the Quantum 101 short course. I'm going to be leading that this time, so if you are not tired of my voice yet, you'll love it. And then at the start of November, we will have our industry mixer. This is the big sort of fall in-person event. We're trying to do most of our events online so that you don't have to travel too far, because again, we know that people have real lives. But this event will be in person, it'll be in Denver, and it'll be worth traveling for, I promise. Last year we did it, we had maybe 6 companies worth of people come, and it was honestly great. Students just got to chat and hang out with people from IBM, Maple, Inflection, Sandia National Labs, and others. A lot of great folks. And like I said, these will be on our internet platform in less than 36 hours. Let me pause here. And since the next event is a professional development workshop, can I have Carrie and Shannon, would you mind introducing yourself? And then Shannon, do you want to give a little blurb about the workshop?
There we go. Hi. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Mike. I'll introduce myself. I'll let Carrie introduce herself. And then, yes, I'll say a little bit about what's coming up. So, hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Andrus. Carrie and I are with the Denver Training Group. So thank you, Mike, for bringing us back. If you were with the program last year, I'm sure you remember us, and I see several familiar faces. So we are brought in to work on these career pieces, and I'll let Carrie introduce herself and then say a little more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Knutson, also from the Denver Training Group, and very glad to be back again for our second year with the QRX program. And one thing that I love about this is I'm not at all in the science world, and the things that Shannon and I bring to this is around the experience of, like, how do you write a resume? How do you write a cover letter? How do you interview? How do you network? That really has nothing to do with having to understand being a science background, but it has a lot of soft skills that I teach and a lot of hard skills that Shannon teaches that will help students really be prepared as they enter in opportunities for internships or into the workforce, or even to go to the Chicago conference and feel like they know how to network effectively. So we're really honored to be back and to offer that kind of training for this program.
Yeah, and as Carrie said, I'm doing more of the hard skills. My background is in teaching, writing, and working with all sorts of different companies and organizations about written communication largely. So I'm taking the lead on resumes and cover letters. So as Mike said, I think, Mike, I think the 8th is a Tuesday. And I can't remember if it said the 7th Tuesday or Monday.
Correct.
Yeah, so, but you and I had gone back and forth because we talked about Monday and Tuesday, and I think we landed on Tuesday the 8th for the resumes class. Yep. Yeah, but that will be in the online platform, and I'm sure you'll be getting emails from your faculty advisors as well. So that's next week. There'll be a link for it. It's an online Zoom class. It should only last about half an hour. But one key thing I want to say tonight, and you will get reminders and more information coming, is that I'd like everybody, if possible, to do a little bit of pre-work just to bring a resume, gather a little bit of your information. And I'll do a short class. It will be videoed as well because people have evening classes, they have jobs, there's things going on. But if you can't get to it live, there'll be a recording. But then you will create 1 or 2 more resumes. We'll talk about how we're going to function, how it will function. And you'll be able to send those to me for feedback. And to all the faculty advisors, we've spoken about having maybe some more one-on-one or group work with each individual school. So please reach out to me about that. We can talk about different ways to have ongoing or concentrated work on having a peer workshop around resumes. And then in November, we'll work on cover letters. So I really hope everybody will have a chance to participate. Again, you don't have to do it at the exact time. You can watch the video later, but I'm here as a resource to review everything and help you just, I mean, as Carrie was saying, these are not skills that are unique to the quantum world or specified even to them. This is just about getting internships, jobs, whatever it is you're looking for. That'll be the piece that I'm bringing this fall. And then Carrie, it'll be more in the spring, but Carrie, do you want to say a little bit about your networking and interviewing pieces as well?
Yeah, what we wanted to do is build upon Shannon's work with cover letters and resumes to then how you, because you'll be doing more in the spring when we think about going to events, how do you network, tips and tools and ideas. And then also when you get interviews, again, sometimes it's somebody has never had an interview or someone hasn't had a formal interview. So really talking about the skills needed to be successful in those environments are what I'll be focusing on in the spring. So you'll get more information about what those events look like and how we'll be structuring those. And again, those are my topics that will happen in the spring. And we want to start with Shannon's in the fall to give them those technical hard skills and have them ready with things to show up with as they start their search.
Perfect. Thank you both. Let me share my screen again here. So that's kind of the long and short of what's coming up, folks. Maybe I'll say this: when you signed up for the program and got into the Mobilize platform, you let me know what days worked best for you. It seems like most of the what am I trying to say? Most of the activity preferences, that was the word I was looking for, were focused around Monday nights and Wednesday lunch hour, so early afternoons on Wednesday. So we'll try as often as we can to make sure that events sort of follow that schedule. Probably we'll have a few things outside of that time just because we have so much stuff on offer. But whenever possible, we're going to record stuff and make it available to you so that you don't have to worry about missing anything just because you couldn't attend a particular event. Okay, so let me just finish up. The next part is just exactly everything that you need to do well in this program. So if you are a person who likes following rules, has to get that A, all that stuff, you're going to love what I have to say. Step one, just go to the website. If you are already signed up at qrx.mobilize.io, you are already ahead of the curve. If you are not there yet, wonderful, welcome, glad you're here. Just go there right now and you will be able to sign up using the form that is there. When you fill out that form, it'll ask you questions like, what school are you at? Are you a student? What is your t-shirt size? The t-shirt question is because we give you t-shirts, not because we just want to collect that information. Once you are in Mobilize, go to your school's group and just post a quick hello. That way I know that you are listening to me right now at this very second. And also it tells your friends that you're participating and it makes it cooler for everybody. So just go to the website. All of the groups are on the left side. It's like a private Facebook thing essentially, right? Facebook's not cool anymore, but Mobilize is very cool, trust me. So just look for your school, jump in there, say hello in the main feed, whatever you want. We just want to make sure that folks are using the platform because it's probably the main way we're going to be communicating this year. And then step 3, take the survey. We are always trying to improve this program. A lot of the changes we made to the program this year, we made because people last year were gracious enough to fill out a feedback survey afterwards so that we know what works and what doesn't work. And we're doing that again this year with a pre-participation survey and a post-participation survey. I'm going to go ahead and throw it over now. We are actually working with a highly skilled and specialized external evaluator this year, a person who's working with us specifically to evaluate the program. So we're really earnestly interested in your feedback here. And I'd like to throw it over to Catherine right now just to give her an opportunity to introduce herself and talk about how you can help shape the program as it moves forward.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Catherine Williamson. I am the external evaluator for the QSense project this year. My PhD is actually in physics and I focused on physics education research. So interviews and surveys are what I'm bringing here to the project. The survey that Mike just put up, and actually Mike, if we could put the URL in the chat. Really, really important to take these surveys. I know surveys aren't always the most fun, but it's really fun to get a gift card. And it really does help improve the program for students like you in the future. And especially like Mike was saying earlier, the whole quantum workforce is, you're just getting in at the ground up. And so everyone, I think, is really interested in like, how do we train this whole new workforce that the world needs right now? So I'll be reaching out to you for interviews as well. Everything is going to be anonymous, so you can think about what you like, think about what you don't like, and be honest with me about it, and I will keep it anonymous. So you don't have to worry about hurting Mike's feelings or anybody else's feelings. I'm that sort of external person that I have no skin in the game of, if you liked it or if you didn't. I'm here to figure out what needs to be done to fix it. So thank you guys for your help with that.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. So yeah, folks, we really want to, if you don't, nobody's going to die if you don't do it. But if you have the time, we would love to encourage you to take the survey. So let me put that right up, back on the screen. And that is pretty much it for what I have to talk about today. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to leave this up so that if you want to connect on Mobilize, if you want to take the survey right now, do it. Probably right now is the best time to do it. We are done with the talk. We still have about 23 minutes left in the time that we allocated for this event. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them right now. If you want to just take a minute and hang out on the chat and take the survey right here with everybody, that's great. We would love that to happen too. But thank you all. We'll be in touch very soon about the next offering. Any questions about anything? I'm going to go ahead and stop the video record now too, like I said.